Welcome to Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, the AARPG's new actual play series using the Dragonbane RPG by Free League Publishing. I'm Nathan, your host, co-GM, and I'll also be playing Brains, the idiot Wolfkin thief. Let's meet my friends and fellow cast members.
I'm Malcolm, your co-GM, and I'll also be playing Corinne Rhinesmith, the judgy halfling bard.
Hi, I'm Tyr, and I'll be playing Dane Ringson, a human scatterbrain scholar.
I'm Chris, and I'm playing Sigyn, Elfin Huntress.
Hey all, this is Anthony, and I play Kurgan, and he wants to remind you,
you should go and get stuffed.
Hello everyone, this is Sean, and we'll be playing Baylor Banefire, Dwarf Artisan Specialist.
I'm Tim, AARPG's latest temporary double-seeker probationary player. I play Quiverwing, the enchanting mallard whose spellbinding plumage shivers like distant lightning on a moonlit night.
Together, we'll explore ancient secrets of a long-forgotten empire, facing challenges and forging our destiny in a world where every castle, cave, and crypt holds the echoes of a bygone era. Get ready for an epic journey filled with laughter, suspense, and unforgettable moments in the Misty Vale.
Hello and welcome to the Advanced Age Role Playing Heroes podcast. This is the show where I harass Tim with all my audio requirements. And we're playing Dragonbane, this brand new game from Free League Publishing. It's shipping right now while we're recording it. I have not gotten my copy yet, but Malcolm has. Malcolm, why don't you show them the super cool cloth map that you got?
I was going to show them the books first, the adventures. And
the PDF has some awesome art in it. I really like the PDF version so far.
Oh, hey, it says here that Tim's character sheet is, he's actually playing Nathan Bane right now.
Bane of my existence.
I know where you live, dude.
You could start lifting that blanket on your PC to make smoke signals later.
Yes, and there, yeah. But yeah, the board box that came in, and it's very nice. And the,
upside down.
Oh,
there.
Oh, it is. The box has come in. Very nice. GM screens. Beautiful.
Very, very nice.
I do love their artwork. It's really nice.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
I'm sad that I didn't know about this game earlier in life.
Yes,
but I don't know Swedish, so.
And it's
well, except for that one word.
Yeah, we
that's
can't
not
repeat
very
it.
helpful for anybody.
Betung? It's absolutely used. It means concrete.
That's not the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was not the word I was thinking of either. But yeah, but Johan Ulrikran's artwork is amazing. So I'm sorry, where were we? Yes,
Dragonbane.
Dragonbane.
Focus.
Playing Dragonbane, we are continuing our adventure as our would-be adventurers, as we'll call them, have opened the chamber in the Riddermound in search of what they hope will be another piece of the mysterious statue that will change the fortunes of all the lives in the Misty Vale. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So this is where we're searching for the piece of the statue and not the sword of Thurman. Or whatever.
Sword of Urum.
we need the piece of the statue so we can get the sword of Thurman.
Oh, okay.
Good to you. What? Oh, gosh. 1, 2.
Thank you, Chris. Oh, my God. It is now the sword of Thurman. Oh, my God. That's the only thing I can hear now.
Yeah. Please, when you edit this, throw up a Kill Bill Volume 1 poster just to for that.
I mean, literally, I was trying to avoid that at all possible. Like, just
what do you got against yellow leather, Malcolm? I mean, it's just yellow leather. It's not going to hurt you.
Keep repeating the name. It'll be fine. It's Duraman. And we keep saying it, and it wouldn't end up that. Now it's Thurman. Great.
Put the square peg in the square. No.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
No.
So catching us up from the last episode, we met 2 witches in the woods, and we bought life-saving turnips.
Why are you calling them witches? Is every woman?
Because Simplicity Weird and Perpetua Gristle.
Okay, so maybe they sound like witches.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're witches.
The turnips are the important thing, people.
Yes, you got food.
We got food.
You have a whole wheelbarrow of turnips. That you got
Minus whatever miserable beast ate.
Well,
minus whatever miserable beast ate and they'd have farted in your general direction. And from there, you guys proceeded in the direction that the general direction they'd given you, and you had found the solitary mound, which was a hill crowned with standing stones that rises at the middle of a forest glade. It was strangely quiet. However, there was the distinct stench of rotten vegetables and crap. You later found that there were tracks of wolves and of goblins, and droppings for both. There was a 2 meter by 2 meter stone slab that apparently had been moved, that was formerly embedded in the earth, with a shaft going down into darkness below. I believe someone did drop a torch at least. And it fell a number of meters before landing at the bottom of wall vacants from this distance, what appears to be illuminating a small patch of packed earth. There was some discussion of ropes and how to get down into the crypt below.
Oh, it's a crypt.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
since they buried a knight in it, I'm going to call it. We can count a card if that will help.
I fell part of the way in through a failed use of the rope and took 4 points of points of damage.
Yes.
Trust me, as much as I would like to forget it, it's on the character sheet.
That's why I don't write shit down.
Did I? I didn't go in yet, did I?
Did you just do you
No.
Leroy your character sheets with a really light pencil?
Let's just remember.
How wide is the hole at the top?
It's 2 meters by 2 meters.
Okay. So
you can tie ropes off to either one of the stones, or if you're brave and daring and risky, to miserable beast.
yeah, I was actually thinking
No, that's
that maybe
so we tried that. He tried it, to Miserable Beast, and he got dragged because Miserable Beast's like, nah, fuck this, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah. I was actually thinking we could lay a tree stump or a tree trunk across the top
And secure it and proceed down.
Secure it and then proceed down the road.
Well, since it's pretty much in the middle of a forest glade, it takes little work as far as just getting a decent-sized branch that's thick enough to handle the possible weight, and that is not too young, that it won't bow too much, that you're able to secure a rope and lay it across and splay the log across the opening, and you can climb down. It simply just takes an acrobatics roll. The business you're doing it with a rope, you'll be at a boon.
I needed to roll
two.
it under which one was it? Agility or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. I failed.
Ooh, I got a 2 and a 4, so I made mine.
Ooh, yeah, I just made mine.
Okay.
I am not an acrobatic duck.
You have wings. Why did you climb down?
Because we can't fly. We're swimmers.
Did you roll it at a boon? I did that.
I did roll it at a boon. I rolled an 11 and a 13, and I have acrobatics at 6. So.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Give me some damage.
Fall.
Yep.
And you will.
Hopefully I caught him.
186 points of damage.
You take 2 points of damage from the fall.
2 points of damage. That's what I meant.
So I will have my bow out and drawn while they're at the bottom of the pit while they're doing this.
Okay. So do you move the torch? Well, as I'm asking, other thing you should do. I'm assuming you pick up the torch and
yeah,
or at least kick
if
it
I-
aside.
Yeah, I'll kick
torch?
it to an advantageous position.
You kick it to what you believe to be an advantageous position. There in the dark, as they are slowly creeping down, the torch rolls across the earthen bare floor. And just at the flickering edge of light, you think you see a figure.
Yeah, I'll take a bead on it with my bow.
But it is dark. But as more of you reach the bottom of the rope and into this chamber, it appears to be some sort of vaulted cave is the best way to say it. Look, the floor appears to be packed earth. But now that more of you are down there and the torches move a little bit further from you, what's your character's name? Oh yes, I forgot. Dane.
Blaine.
As you adjust slightly to the darkness, the figure in the light does not appear to be moving, and appears to be standing beside an oaken door.
What is that? Is that a person?
Baylor, lift up the torch. Show us what's there.
Well, Baylor dutifully because you asked, picks up the door and holds it aloft. With it off the floor, it's easier to see more around you, as far as that. There is a oak door on the north wall. 2 doors, actually. I'll just describe them for you real quick. Inside the dome-shaped room, there is you can see there is a set of oak doors with iron fittings, with a large silver symbol that stretches across both doors. In the torchlight, you can see each door, the doors are flanked by statues of knights and antiquated armor.
Is this a mostly roundish room?
It is
or
a circular
rectangular?
room, about maybe 16 meters across.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty huge.
Substantial.
So using my myths and legends, can I tell the style from the style of the armor what era these knights are from?
Sure, you probably could.
Would you like me to roll for it, or?
Why don't you roll for it? But I will tell you, that these are definitely, considering what you know the general history of the Misty Vale, and more than likely the only organized kingdom that existed were those of the dragon worship, the mighty dragon worshipping kingdom.
Okay, then I won't roll for it.
As for the symbol, that I will require a roll for.
All right, then that I will roll.
Are the 2 doors to the north, are they together?
Yes, they are. They're double doors.
I succeeded on myths and legends.
Yes, this only confirmed that these are definitely from that kingdom.
Okay, but the symbol?
It is a stylized crown on the door.
Okay.
While it is silvery as far as its sheen, you are not certain if it's enough silver to scrape out and take away. But maybe you put some work to it.
I bet there's a statue piece in there.
Well, we could look for those tracks and see if any of the goblins came down here.
Look for their poop.
That is the other thing. You do notice, all throughout the floor, there are lots of footprints and drag marks in the dirt.
Are there any other doors?
There are no other doors in the room, and it doesn't appear as if the oak doors have been forced, one of which is slightly ajar.
How many knight statues are there around the room?
Just 2. Just the 2 flanking the door, and that's it.
Just the 2 flanking the door. Okay. Got it.
I'll go scout ahead. Stay right here.
And Karen will light her lantern, since there's time.
I'll try and stealthily sneak ahead and see if I can look around and see if I can find any other. I'm looking for any kind of cracks in the walls, hidden passageways, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I will help
coins.
them.
There is something you should be aware of, I think, is that it is not. This other area is outside this room, since you brought light into this chamber.
Mm-hmm.
There is no light in the chambers beyond, as far as beyond the door. There's no light coming from there. As
So,
far as you
like,
can see from
under
where
the
you
crack
are
of
at
the
this point.
door looks dark.
It looks dark.
I'm not the brightest torch on the sconce, but I think if we open these doors, if there's anything behind these doors, they're going to see our torchlight.
They can already see the torchlight, my friend, if the door's already cracked. We're the only light source down here.
See, this is why we brought you, because you're so smart.
I recommend you open the doors from the side while we, with bows, aim for the door opening of the doorways in case something should come out.
Okay. On the count of 7?
Let's make it 3.
Oh, okay. 3 is a good number. Okay.
Bit more of a guarantee to make it.
1, 2,
So we're going on Overwatch.
3. And I'll pull the door open from the side.
Okay.
And I'll stand by the door.
You swing the door open and stand behind the door. It appears to open into a sort of like small 4 meter, like by 4 meter antechamber with 2 corridors going off and opening across from where you are on the double doors. There appears to be another small circular chamber, much smaller in size, obviously, than the one you came through there.
Okay, so it's a 2 meter by 2 meter.
So there's a small circular passage in front of us and a passage going crossways to the east and west?
Yeah, sorry, yes. There are there's a passages. Yeah. There's a chamber to the north, and there's a passage east and west.
Okay.
Let me go to the chamber to the north. Is a small round room. Once again, the floor is just packed earth, and there is a flickering torch light that streams through a black iron portcullis on the north far wall, 2 mummified guards in rusty chainmail and long spears flanked this barred gate.
On the north side as well.
Yes, the north side goes north. Maybe there's another chamber that's a small little area, a smaller room to the north. There's like a single rusty portcullis that's closed, iron portcullis is closed, and there's torchlight coming through this portcullis, so you can't really see what's through it from this distance just yet. But there are 2 mummified guards in rusty chainmail and long spears which flank that rusty barred gate.
See if we can talk about those mummified.
Well, I wanted to make the distinct difference between the stone statues you saw in the outer chamber.
Yeah, okay. And this portcullis, like, does it open out or in or up? Or
Yeah.
Like most portcullises, it opens probably up,
okay.
but it appears to be closed from this distance. Do you move up to it to investigate, and what light source are you taking with you to do so, or are you relying on the light source beyond?
I'm going to try and move ahead and not bring a light source with me. Just try to see if I can see things through the light source through the portcullis.
It's keen canine vision.
And how close do you get to the portcullis?
I'll get right up on that bitch.
Okay.
I will cover him with the bow.
I will cover the mummified statues with the bow.
I will stand in the middle of them all.
I would recommend just staying out of spear distance, but what do I know?
Oh yeah, no, I'm well back. Well,
I mean,
I meant our wolfkin friend.
What could go wrong?
Good ask. Good ask.
Good
Etch
ask.
that in your tombstone, sir.
So, you stand between the mummified guards at the rusty portcullis door, which does appear to be completely rusted out for the most part. Though there is a lock, you don't think it's going to be able to be usable. You can't really tell at this point. It just appears to be.
Why didn't the goblins
just
try
barred.
to go through here?
Perhaps the goblins have. Someone had to keep the torch lit.
But the lock is in place.
If it's rusted out, does it mean I could go through the bars? Like I could or
You could try. You could try.
There may be another means of entry to the area behind the portcullis.
True.
yeah.
And through the portcullis, you can see there is a small room beyond that, where there is a table in the middle of that room and a burning torch on the far wall. Sitting at the table is a mummified woman in gilded chainmail, sitting at the far end of the table, looking towards the portcullis. Well, at least that's how she's situated.
That's creepy.
Behind her, there is a iron-fitted oak door that bears the same ancient symbol that you found on the front door, the first set of doors that you came through.
Yeah. I'll just see if I can try and squeeze through the rusted bars. I'll look back at everybody and put my finger to my snout and and I'm gonna point to the portcullis and I'm gonna see if I can wriggle my way through.
I think you can smell something through the portcullis.
Yeah, that's what I was taking from that sign.
I can smell something. You can smell something through the portcullis.
Yeah.
Obviously, what I meant.
It's like we're all thinking, oh, good, he sees something. Let's get ready. Then we hear the crash of the portcullis remains falling to the ground.
While he's attempting to do that, I will be listening at the doors to the west.
No.
At the door to the west.
So let me explain. So you open this door, and it opens to a 3-way corridor. So one goes straight across this chamber, and there's a corridor going east and a corridor going west. There's no actual door, just a dark open corridor that smells faintly of wet earth, and you can barely see in some of your light, some stones and pebbles in a packed earth. But
I thought there were doors. My bad.
No, sorry, just 2 corridors.
No worries. No worries.
No light down either of the corridors, I assume.
No light going down either of those.
Where's the light coming from? Is it on the table with the lady?
No, it's the torch behind her on the walls.
Or the wall.
As you angle around, you can see there's probably 2 torches flanking that door that are lit.
Is it like regular torchlight, or is it
There's something.
a wrong color?
There's nothing wrong. The color is not wrong. It just seems to sometimes sparkle with a almost unworldly white light within the flames.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Will you?
Do I have to Can I wriggle through? I'm a pretty lean guy, or do I have to roll for something like acrobatics?
Looking at the bars, but not being the brightest of the party, you think you can try, but you realize you can probably only get after some wriggling. And for the rest of you, there is a considerable bit of noise as he rattles and tries to push through, unless you want to stop the second you hear noise. You can maybe get a limb through, but you can't get your body through.
Okay. If I can't get all the way through, then I'm gonna disconnect myself from the portcullis and just stand back and scratch my head and look around and see if
we can bend the bars.
Well, no one has jumped him yet, so it must be okay in the corridor.
Dane?
Yes.
The mummified guards do not move during this whole entire engagement.
Okay. I'll proceed forward to where he is, and I'll examine the mummified guards.
Armor is not as nice as far as what was depicted in the carved stone statues. It appears the statues were apparently carved in a sort of a motif of being wearing some sort of plate. These are wearing a sort of chainmail. It though it looks fine to the touch, even as you touch it? I'm sorry.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it just sort of crumbles as you touch it.
What about the skin and the flesh underneath?
It shows the normal signs of long-term desiccation. The thing is, it's sort of like if the age of the Empire was several hundred years ago.
Yeah.
And they seem rather well preserved, even for that. But then again, you weren't very familiar with what all the burial practices were, because the Dragon Empire had a number of different ways in which they preserved or dealt with bodies. Though mummification was a part of their overall rituals, you're just kind of sort of surprised that it has stayed intact and upright, of all things, for this long.
Strange.
But you don't know if any, there's eldritch magic about it or not, really, from your area of expertise, but it does appear to be a superior job of mummification. You can even see the beard hairs and so forth on one guard, and the long sort of braided braids on the other. She's obviously was a woman, and this one was a man.
Mage, is there any sort of arcane art preserving these bodies? They seem to be too well preserved for sitting in a dank tunnel.
Okay, so you were asking if I could detect magic. Yes, I can detect magic. Shall I detect magic?
Now, Tim?
Yes.
Quiverine has a skill that he can also use it to discern certain things, just about the general principles of stuff.
Yeah, that's arcane, right? Or arcana? Or...
Yes. That you don't necessarily require to cast a spell to do, necessarily. It is a general knowledge and understanding of things magical.
Is that based on intelligence? I'm looking for it.
It would just be your whatever your specialty is.
Yeah, my special is the animism.
So would it just be an animism roll?
Or not a roll, or is that what you're saying?
It's not a roll. You can just take a look at it, I guess, and I'll be nice.
Okay. That's fine.
There's some things in it. So just taking the time to examine it is the thing. So it means spending the time to do that.
I'm taking a stretch.
And that way you won't have to spend the willpower to cast a spell necessarily. Okay. Taking a stretch and looking over it. It is, you think it's more of a use of alchemy than anything else, as opposed to an actual spell being laid upon the bodies, but alchemy being used as a process as far as helping to preserve the bodies better. Which in some ways can be considered a magic, because some magical properties can be achieved through alchemy, and that's what you think was done on these particular bodies.
So what I share with you guys is this is definitely a mummification process that is supported by some sort of mystical art, probably alchemy.
What's that mean?
That means that magic stuff with chemicals that smell weird.
Stinky stuff. Nice.
So, should we go through this portcullis, or should we go and explore the other chambers first?
I don't think that lady's going anywhere, so we could just come back to her. Just my idea.
All right, let's go explore the other tunnels. Make sure no one comes up behind us. Obviously, no one's coming from this direction.
Well, as I was saying, I believe we can bend the bars.
Oh, I'm sure that even our blacksmith can probably just strike that lock from the strike the lock from there. It's so rusted.
I think we were looking for a more subtle entrance.
Batter looks at it and goes, because the lock would be useless even if we even if we bust it off. It won't give us access into the place. We'll need to actually bust out several of the bars. And since they're close enough that the actual wolfkin can't get through, it will take a bit of work.
I was actually
it would take me no time to do it, but it
I
would
would
not be
think
quiet.
that would be noisy.
Well, of course not. Of course, ironwork is never
why break
quiet.
them when you can bend them though?
You
You can
use
just
strength.
bend them.
They will still make noise. The rust in some of these some of them will give.
Agree.
I mean, I'm not
Agree.
saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it will not be quiet if that's your intent.
So what we
Though I agree with him, I don't think she's going to wake.
We could pee on a blanket and then wrap it around the bars, and then
This isn't the hotel from last night. Just
Yeah, and then all you need is a stick, and you wind the stick up, and it pulls
Why
them
do you guys
together.
know so much about breaking bars? And I don't want to know.
I mean,
I'm fine.
it's just
carry on.
honey's and stuff.
shall we explore the passage to the
What
east?
you should be
Yes.
asking yourself is, why does the wolfkin know so much about peeing on things?
I think we know the answer to that
Actually,
one.
I don't need to actually. I know the answer.
Let us go explore the passage to the east, please. It would make me feel more comfortable, as we can always break the bars down later.
Okay.
Deal.
So, you head down the passage to the east.
Are you said the mummies are carrying weapons, right?
Long spears.
All right. Can you take them out of their hands?
Do you take them out of their hands is the question.
Well,
You attempt to do so.
without disturbing them, do they have removable tips?
With some work, you can possibly get on something high enough. Because they're long spears, so there's not much. But the ceiling doesn't go high enough in this chamber for you to
Okay.
pull them all the way out.
Okay.
The shaft, or you can try and undo the top, or just break off the fingers. I guess it's another thing you could do.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to break off the fingers, but I will try to remove the tips if somebody will allow me to stand on their shoulders for a moment.
I'll certainly give you a boost.
Thanks, buddy. I will remove the tip from the spears as quietly as possible.
Just the tip,
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
and I'll stand underneath just in case he falls.
I'll be standing back with an arrow trained on the mummy.
I will be fondling the tip.
You might want to spit on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was debating whether to make that joke. I chose not to.
Look, it's the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much had to. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
shit.
does take a bit of work because they are well
Yeah, it
seared on
does.
there. As a matter of fact, you're quite certain after the actual spears themselves are probably fully intact, which is kind of amazing. Even the tip was apparently covered with some sort of coating that it had on it that apparently gave away to dust. So when you even touch it, you brush it off, and you get the clean sort of actual spear tip. Siggy, you do, as they are moving the tip of the spear, and they're all ruins organizations, from the western tunnel, you think you hear the scraping of some heavy object and a hissing moan. Then it fades quickly away.
Dane,
Yes?
watch the entrance. Look through the door to the west. I've heard some
corridor.
noises.
There's
Corridor
no...
to the west.
Baylor, with me in the light.
Very well. And he'll slide over there and take a look and raise
Then I've got the bow and the arrow out.
the torch.
Okay.
So all you see is a damp, dark tunnel made of packed earth that branches off at the very end. In the distance, you think the air is chilled and filled with a smell that's musty. It is just packed earth, so there are slithering roots, and you can see worms and occasional centipedes, and that sort of hang from the ceiling there. Not very, they're pretty thick, but that's about it. Almost like stalactites as far as their size and as far as my distance, but not much. There's an occasional puddle in the ground, and it does look somewhat slippery, but not super treacherous.
All right.
But
Any
you don't
unusual
see
footprints?
There are some footprints which you do see there. You think
Going in or out?
the looks of it, both trampling over one another.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out on this tunnel, on these tunnels while they're finishing up back there.
Okay.
So we'll just station guard there.
All right.
And presumably the spear tip removal goes without problem, and we can...
The spear tip goes without problem.
Yeah, that's money.
Trophy.
No.
Oh,
Money.
I just don't want to be poked by it later.
Yeah.
It could just be a good spear to have.
So we're going down the east corridor?
I think that would be prudent at the
But
moment.
didn't you hear something
I
coming
did.
from this one?
Do you want
Do you
to
want
go
to go
towards the
directly to
morning
them?
or away from the morning?
If we're trying to be sneaky about it, I'd presume we'd go away from the moaning.
Okay.
I like Siggy's idea.
All right. Well, you go start down this way. We'll follow. I'll just keep a rear guard, and we'll keep the light behind us.
So we're heading west.
We're
So you're
heading
heading
east.
east or west?
We're heading east.
Okay. You're heading east. And you currently have two sources of light. A lantern from Karin and a torch that Balor is carrying.
And I'll
How-
go 5 meters ahead, just at the edge of the light.
Yeah. Baylor and I are waiting until they all proceed down the tunnel.
Okay. And
keeping-
Karen will stick behind. We'll stick with
Straight in the middle.
Quiverwing around near him and so forth.
I mean, it's really hard to find a primary care physician in these days. So,
Indeed.
It's basically brains first and followed by me.
Particularly
then,
with these filthy night
Quiverwing and
running
Karen.
around in here.
Yes. Right then. So off to the east we go.
So proceeding to down the east corridor, we'll call it. No, it's more like a dirt tunnel. Goes for about 20 meters before opening into another chamber. It is a, get a better.
so after they proceed down the tunnel, we don't hear anything else, see anything else coming from that western tunnel? Because we're remaining like absolutely quiet.
We're trying to anyhow.
Are we?
Are we now? Why don't you give me an awareness roll?
Okay.
I would say it a boon, but you're trying to cover a large area, not being very specific, just listening for a particular noise, so we'll just do that. Just an awareness roll. In general, okay?
I make it 8 out of 13.
Okay. You don't hear that particular moaning or large scraping object. You do think you might have heard some crying, but it's very distant and weak. Or you're not really. That's about the most I can give you.
Okay.
As for the rest of you who went east and went to the next chamber, this appears to be a large chamber. It's dark, but it has another dirt-packed floor, and most of the sort of like some stone facing is only on the wall, and there are 7 simple sarcophagi of stone which line up along the walls. Several of them have been opened, and 2 skeletons have been thrown to the ground.
In disassembled form?
Yeah. One is assembled, one's
So
disassembled.
7's an odd number for a rectangular. Is it a rectangular room?
It is a rectangular room. I'll give you the dimensions real quick for that.
Okay.
In general,
Are there three to the north, 4 to the south, or
it's about
3 to the north, 3 to the south, 1 to the east.
How does that work?
Ask Brains.
so it's about 12 meters long and about maybe 6 meters across.
Oh, pretty big
So-
room.
And the room goes. As far as the length, its long part is going northward. It's north, so it goes northward as far as its length. It's
okay.
And the sarcophagi are lined, at least the ones that are. They're sort of like standing up, except for 2 which have been sort of broken open and the contents and the skeletons spilled out.
Okay.
There are a number. It appears that that 3 of the sarcophagi have been vandalized in some way, and the others are not. Some of them are. Several of the actual sarcophagi are child size.
Ooh, interesting. Several.
So, how many sarcophagi did you say?
There are 7 total. 3 have been plundered. We'll say.
Now, does it appear to have been recent, or is there a layer of...
Looking at it, it looks like it appears to be recent, as they were plundered. And you're in...
Okay.
Your impression would be like they either got bored or they left.
Would you let me know when Baylor and I arrive in the chamber?
I did not realize you had moved forward, but as you do, you arrive at the chamber now.
I thought I heard something down from that other tunnel, possibly crying, but I didn't hear your moaning and slithering. There's definitely activity down there.
Doesn't sound much better.
Are there any inscriptions or runes writing on the sarcophagi?
That is the odd thing. Well, I guess it's not odd, but one thing you do notice is that there is no particular markings or inscriptions upon the sarcophagi. It is as if whoever is buried here, whoever should have known who it was, or
It's
or it was
strange.
just familiar, but there's no particular,
I'm not used to the Dragon Empire's ways and teachings, but I mean, almost every other civilization marks when they honor their dead.
Are there any other entrances to this chamber?
Yes, and the northern end of the tunnel, and then in the chamber, on the west wall corner, in the northwest corner, and there is another passageway leading from there that's open. There is no doorway, just an open passage where a cold air comes from, and the smell of root and rot. That could be just a chamber, because, well, there are skeletons on the ground here. And they do, basically, you can tell from the clothing that they're wearing, at least the ones, the skeletons that are sort of torn apart, that apparently it was ornate. There's like beadwork and all that kind of stuff that's been done, and inlays, but they've been shredded either because of age or something being torn off of them. There are, of course, 4 more sarcophagi which have not been opened. If there's any interest you guys have in.
Of the 4 that are unopened, is it 2 and 2 as far as adult size versus child size?
No, 3 are child size and 1 is adult size.
Okay.
Shall we look further into the adult-sized one?
Yeah, we can search.
I'll stand guard. I don't much care for digging through.
Yeah, I'll go poking through.
So very well. So let's look further. It's trying to move the top from the adult-sized one.
Since they're standing up, it's not very hard. Just sort of pry it and then let the weight sort of carry it off to the ground. If you make an effort,
Gently.
Yeah, I'll help guide it down.
taking an effort to make sure it doesn't go slamming the ground, or move it to the side.
They do so well, like clap.
Yeah, I will say there's no particular trouble if you take the effort. Yes. Inside, there appears to be you suspect it's a man. You guess based on his clothing, or maybe they are dressed in what is now a moldering remnants of what was apparently beautiful ceremonial clothing. There are very heavily beaded with motifs of dragons and several crowns done in some parts were obviously apparently at one point were sort of like sewn with gold thread around his mummified head. There he wears a gilded headband and has several rings upon their fingers.
What are they? Are they like gold rings, silver?
Gilded headband. Jeweled rings on silver and gold.
Yeah, I'll see if I can. Grab me some rings.
The head sort of tilts a little bit almost off the neck when you get the headband off. But it stays on there, and you're able to remove the rings with a minimal amount of difficulty if you take the time to do it right. You can, for anybody else looking around, you can tell that apparently the other ones, the goblins apparently just smashed the hand and then picked up whatever's left off, as well as that. So that gives you an idea of how they must have had that. But yeah.
I wonder why they left these ones alone.
Don't know.
Might be a bit much for them to move and carry.
The headband you think is maybe worth about 5 gold is what Bella would say that'll be at least 5 gold for the headband. The craftsmanship
from the kids too.
The craftsmanship the craftsmanship alone.
One second, are we grave robbers at this point?
Those 2 rings are this.
What do you mean we?
Do you want to eat?
We'll give you 3, 2 or 3 gold apiece alone.
Given the cost of arrows, my friend, I think we're not grave robbers so much as adventurer investors.
They can no longer use them, and this craftsmanship will be lost to the world.
Okay. You've convinced me, Siggy.
So do you raid the other coffins?
The children. Are we going to steal from
Are you
the
steal
children?
from the dead children?
They are dead, though.
I mean, they're humans, so...
I mean, they're only child size. There are lots of creatures that are bigger and smaller. in the
Yeah,
world.
could be goblins.
To which, Karen sort of spits. There's no way Nightkin would be actually anywhere within the Empire. They didn't invade this valley until after the Dragon Emperor was gone. Filthy creatures.
Is somebody writing down the loot?
Yeah, I wrote down.
I'm too.
You wrote it down? Okay.
No, I'm too morally, upset.
Had no trouble stealing from the guard spears, but
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I stole the spear tips because I didn't want those to be used against us.
So very well. Let's just take on the first casket, or sarcophagus rather.
And once again, each the children, so each coffin is the same pretty much as far as their adornments for the most part, of wearing a gilded bedband and having jeweled rings. And I will probably pull one treasure card in here too as well, just for you guys. So we'll just do that real quick.
A treasure
cards. This is the kind of neat thing that Dragonbane has.
And in one of the children's sarcophagi, you find also a small box. It begins to break apart as you lift it off, and the coins within it spill out.
Ooh, coins.
Now there is quite a few of them.
Wow.
Quite a few of what kind of coins?
Silver!
Damn it.
So there are 20 silver coins
Wow.
that spill out.
We had to rob from the poor children.
And a ghostly song plays in the background. Feed the birds.
Toppings for the birds. It's kind of creepy, but yes.
Oh, shit.
And each coin, has a stylized a dragon with a mounted knight on one side and a crown on the other, appearing to be the currency, or at least in some part, used during the ancient Dragon Kings and Dragon Emperor's empire. So, that's what you find in there, in addition to each one having a gilded headband, which is worth about 5 gold points, and jeweled rings, which are worth about 3 gold pieces apiece.
And there are 3, how many rings? 3?
Total of 4 rings from all 3 sarcophagi is what you get.
Okay.
Yes, you had to ask, didn't you? One must know these things.
And 3 headbands total?
And 3 headbands. No, 4 headbands you have total.
4, okay. All right. Wow, these must have been special people.
I mean, Yes. As a matter of fact, Dane, you're almost certain that these were special people of importance.
Oh yeah.
All of their raiment is very similar in some ways, and that as far as the beadwork, they all of course have the same dragon motif on them, which you suspect may not be necessarily a family sort of heraldry, but a symbol of their importance within the empire.
I mean, that's really all that Dane seems interested in is the knowledge, not so much the...
The one thing that can be somewhat upsetting, I mean, the rumors is that this knight was buried here alive. Does that go true for his entire family, perhaps?
Ew.
Or these servants who were children? Why were they buried?
Are there scratches on the inside of the coffin?
There is no evidence, but you know that usually when there's such live burials, the person would be drugged.
Oh.
At least in other cultures.
That's really not a bad way to go.
I prefer to do it under the open sky, but it's my choice. I'm not a dragon-worshipping knight, so shall we move on? I'm disturbed.
Yeah.
Yes, and we should move on as well.
Off to the passage on the northwest, I trust?
Yes.
Passage to the northwest.
There's a passage in the northwest corner, and that appears to be another earthen tunnel. And you can see light coming from the end of it.
Take a listen.
It heads in which direction?
Does it seem like
this
like
leading?
I'm sorry. Does it seem like daylight, or does it seem like
No,
flickering
it's
torchlight?
Flickering torchlight. It heads back west. The tunnel heads westward.
What's
Okay.
the direction of the other chamber?
Yeah. And that's the. Do you proceed all the way to the end, or does someone you scout ahead?
But I'll scout ahead, but I'm listening because that's, anytime you see torchlight, you're not always going to see a mummy at the end of it.
Words to live by, my friend.
Well,
What he said.
Being ahead of the group in the torchlight, you are the first one to step in it. It's you don't. You see the flickering light up ahead, and you're sort of going towards it, and then your third foot slides, it squelches into something, and then the smell hits you as soon as your foot fully withdraws.
Is it poop?
It is a smell of blood
Oh,
and viscera. A little poop.
oh, thank God.
There's always poop. Yes.
There's always poop.
Always.
That never gets mentioned.
But as Quivering and Karen come up behind you, and you've stopped and they're just moving up since you.
Yeah, I kind of hold my hands up, like stop. And I go for my dagger.
Down the lantern, but when she puts it down, you can see the light as it spills across the floor, where you're standing in ahead a little bit. There are the bodies of several goblin that appear to be severely mangled.
It's
Like
still,
from a beast, kind of? Or
Well, why don't you just why don't you give
still-
me a healing roll or something?
still warm.
healing roll.
Do you touch the bodies?
Woo!
Do you slip up there?
As
Son of a bitch.
Stick your finger?
I kneel down and stick my finger in it. And
I got excited for a second. I rolled a 20, and then I remembered that this is the
Demons for
reversal
you!
game. So, but at least I get a mark on my character.
could
so
that be?
Yeah.
Would that be hunting and fishing? What would that skill be for me?
It's
Awareness.
healing. Would be.
Or healing?
Oh no, it's healing, not animism.
Yeah.
Healing. Oh, I got a 1. Jesus.
Wow, a dragon and a demon.
That's fucking
Dragon
bizarre.
and demon. Wow.
I don't know. I'm going to have to professionally disagree with you there, Siggy.
So, as it stands, Quivering, you are certain they were mauled years ago by a leopard of some sort.
I can still see the spots.
You can see the claw marks and the teeth marks, barely. Well, Well, Siggy, you are quite certain, O guardian of the night sky, that no, they've only been dead not too long at all, actually. And they apparently were bludgeoned to death by some unforgiving heavy weapon of some sort, one that is swung. Particularly the way that goblin's head has been indented in, and the marks of possible, stubs on the end of a morning star or something. So you're like, probably not him. And he's like, that's the definite claw mark. And,
Claw mark of the Morningstar fisted leopard. Yes,
leopard. It's not common in this area, but that is definitely it. And it happened at least a month or maybe years ago. Okay, and you can see a newspaper, Anyway, one of the goblins has a newspaper from yesterday packed in his pocket. Okay. But yeah, you're certain they died very recently and horribly from an armed individual of some strength and power.
Let's see if the leopard left anything on the body.
I fear, as we've anticipated, we are not alone in these tunnels.
I mean, it's been centuries, but
The blood. Look at the blood.
So how many goblins? Is it 3?
3.
And Sicky, you said you think this is recent? Like how recent?
Hours.
at least 20 years.
You're thinking hours.
At least 20 years.
We've been in here a matter of maybe half an hour.
Hold on a second.
The duck is usually pretty smart. Are you sure?
Does anybody hear a leopard?
Well, there was that crying earlier.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It was like 30 years ago.
And you do know that it probably moved on. And those leopards usually have this terrible habit of mimicking human voices. Help me! And you get close and clobber you with your big round things from the tree swamps. Anyway.
I have heard of cave leopards.
Investigate for any tracks in the viscera.
Considering the blood has filled up many of the actual places and he's stomped around, it's a bit difficult. Just to correct your map, we'll do it right now real quick for you. Tim, the end of the corridor, you follow the end of the corridor ends in a set of portcullis and a light coming through. It comes from a torch in a very familiar room with a table and a mummified woman sitting there.
The
Sorry,
portcullis budget has been off the
that
charts.
these connect. Sorry, I can fix that.
Yeah.
I'll fix that. Thank you.
Just so you have a clearer picture.
So is this portcullis in better condition?
This portcullis is in better condition. And I believe, let me let me double check something real quick. Yes, it is in better condition, and it looks like the lock on it is intact, and it apparently will have a latch that will cause the portcullis to sort of roll up. I guess I'm sorry, I was mistaken to say that they roll up. It will open up. It will swing open. This one will swing open.
So I've got a simple set of lock picks. They're on my belt. I'll reach behind me and I'll pull out my little pouch with my lock picks, and I'll kneel down on the ground and splay them out in front of me, and I'll pick up two different ones and look at them, and I'll see if I can.
Does he know how to do this? Work? He just starts gnawing on the lock.
Okay,
so this is the whole thing.
I'm astounded.
Welcome to Tabletop. My name is Nick, and I think that fudging dice rolls is totally okay.
Hey, it's me, Franco, and rolling for initiative sucks.
I'm Daniel, and I think you should modify your first level characters as much as you want.
And I'm Shade, and if your TTRPG hasn't evolved into a LARP, you've done it wrong.
And we all host Tabletopped, a TTRPG podcast about all things games and storytelling.
And sometimes we have game designers, professional researchers, and even the occasional owlbear.
If this interests you, listen to Tabletop every Monday wherever you get your podcasts. Tabletop is a proud member of the Helios Network.
So is there a second set of portcullises on the east wall of that chamber where the lady is?
Yes, on the opposite side of that chamber.
Where we were before,
There's another set, and in front of her, there is an original set you guys found.
Baylor, I really thought that maybe I forgot. I thought he was dumb. And he's pointing at.
I heard that.
And he's got good hearing.
One can be clever at the delicate arts without being a scholar.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, Baylor. That wasn't right.
So, I'm going to try and pick the locks. So do you want me to roll, or do you want to?
Why don't you give me a roll, definitely, for that?
All right.
Sleight of hand, I believe.
Sleight of hand will be what we're looking at.
Made it exactly.
Okay.
14.
The tumblers shift and so forth and move, but unfortunately the lock does not give. Well, first of all, there is a great deal of time between the time this lock was made and your knowledge of lock picking to begin with. And it's an ancient thing. You know it's intact and the tumblers can move and so forth, but the way they shift and so forth or slide around when you're moving them is very unfamiliar. You probably need the key.
Well, they obviously built this wrong. They didn't know how to build locks back in those days.
Or at least be able to see a copy of the key or see a key for a lock similar to it so you can figure out how to move the tumblers.
I'm frustrated, and I just throw my picks back in my little pouch and fold it back up, and this is stupid.
Perhaps if we circle around to the other direction where the noise was coming, we might find a key that way, along with whatever the hell is causing the crying and screaming.
Is there a an obvious kind of like latch or other door handle on the far side inside the room where the lady is with the torch?
No. Not that you can see from your angle.
The torch is lit though, right?
The torches are lit, but they're on either side of the door behind her.
Which is to the north.
Which is the north wall.
So there's a door, and that also has a portcullis.
No, the door to the north?
Yeah, it's just a door.
No, that's
guarded
an iron. That's just an oak door that's bound in iron.
Yeah.
Where's the smoke going?
That's when you realize there's no smoke from the torches.
Perhaps they're an alchemical concoction as well.
And the more you stare at them, you realize they're not consuming what appears to be their wood or material.
Well, we only have one place left to check out. Shall we?
Sure. We should be on our guard for this.
Do you have a question, Quiverwing?
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could use fetch to grab the torch out of its brazier. I don't know what the
sconce.
Brazier.
Yeah. Sconce is what I think we. Sconce
versus scones.
Since it's clearly a magical object, I'm wondering if it might be the trigger for the portcullis.
Okay.
So first attempt will be
what spell again? I'm sorry.
It's a magic trick called fetch.
Oh, magic trick. Fetch. Okay.
Anything that is a one weight object or one encumbrance object, I should be able to move at my will.
Much like Tier's keyboard.
Yes. it works.
Okay. And torches are like a one weight object, so you can cast fetch. And the torch lifts out of the sconce and floats over towards you. And through the bars, because it's small enough.
Okay. That didn't do what I thought it would do.
But you now have a very nice torch. Well done.
Now I have a torch. Karen, here's a torch.
I have a lantern.
Oh.
I do play a two-handed weapon. I mean, two-handed musical instrument as well. I'm going to have to put the lantern down, and it will stay stable while a torch will fall over and roll. Hence, lantern. Bello, do you want a lantern? I'm already holding a torch. See?
Maybe
I can't do anything.
Baylor can Florentine the torches.
Yeah.
His eyes turned to slits as he looked at you, and then looks at Dane. And goes, what does Florentine mean?
I believe it's a type of pasta.
I'm not going to eat these torches.
I thought it was somebody from Florin.
Savages.
Look, elf. You can Florentine on your own time in the woods.
Oh, it means it has spinach in it.
Well, we're not eating these torches now.
And cream.
Particularly, who knows what magic torches will do?
Don't have the right wine to pair for this anyway.
So, on our way.
We circle back slowly, making sure nothing has entered the rooms before us that we've since passed through.
The rooms appear to be as you left them. They're somehow colder.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Well, let's head down towards that western tunnel.
Towards the screaming. The violence.
Make it sound like such a warm and inviting place.
I know. It's like Christmas all over again.
What's Christmas?
Right, exactly. What is Christmas?
What is?
I heard there was a war on it, and they lost.
Well,
They had it coming. They were terrible people.
So, you head down the corridor. And once again, this opens to another chamber of a slightly larger size. It is still rectangular with its long length going north to south. It is about 10 meters long and about 8 meters wide.
And this is to the north of the lady in the chamber.
No, if you go down the corridor if you go around the western corridor.
Oh, to where the moon was.
Yeah, we're heading towards the moon.
Yeah.
So it's similarly sized to the other one. Then.
Yeah, it goes the other way. It turns. The corner turns slightly upwards, and then there's a chamber there. Okay.
Are there secrets in it?
Yeah, there's always secrets. Yes. But once again, this is a dark chamber until you bring light into it and damp. There are dug out burial niches that cover the wall from floor to ceiling. There are broken skeletons and molten rags and shards of crushed pottery that can be seen all over the place. Clearly, the place has been vandalized and ransacked.
Wow.
And the bodies pulled out of their burial niches.
No respect.
Seems the goblins went for some easier prey first.
On the in the northern corner of this room, just like the other one, on the northeastern corner, there is a portal or a passage opening up that goes up. That goes up a little bit north, 2 meters north, and then turns back eastward. You suspect this connect the portcullis as you see on the opposite side,
right
in that somebody's chamber.
Now the portcullis was closed when we observed it from the other side, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Well, I'll investigate.
Is there anything unusual in the
Give me
ceilings?
a spot hidden roll.
Yeah.
Spot hidden.
Spot hidden. I would be doing the same thing.
Oh, spot hidden. So,
what are you looking for, and where are you looking in this chamber?
So I am looking for anything that's. I'm checking I'm really looking for more hidden alcoves, that kind of
So
thing.
looking within the burial niches.
Yeah, but I rolled a 14 and I have a 3.
Okay. So you begin grubbing through various niches, looking for secret niches and niches.
I have questions as to how we do even to try to look for secret things at this. But anyway, I was going to look at the ceilings.
This tastes secret.
Examining the ceilings, it appears to be once again like this. Apparently, this crypt has been invaded by some roots and so forth from the outside, but generally is mostly packed with stone. It is stonework, unlike the floor, and appears to be sound. There are no obvious places to like there's obviously 2 sconces in here, but no torches, and even those you don't think would be a whole lot of light in this room. But that's all you can see on the ceiling.
Hey, I rolled a 9 of my under my 10 spot hidden. So, but if I'm just mainly looking for any other way some beastly thing with a bashing weapon could sneak in.
Well, as you, besides the one door you came from, not probably nothing, but you do, as you move near past the niches, you can distinctly hear some sort of and then you get closer, it gets in one of the niches.
I will, I say we have company, my friends.
Where? I didn't see anything.
Back up and point to the niche in question.
I will whip out my stave.
Oh, the bow trained on it. Baylor, some light here, please.
Florentine or regular?
Somebody.
Just a regular light, my friend. I'm not the fancy type.
Hello, who's there with us? Come out, wherever you are. Nobody. Come on out.
Oh, no. I mean,
we've got lots of pointy things pointed straight at your head, so come on out.
There's some shuffling in the back of it. A couple of bones fall out, but then it stops moving, and the more hyperventilating breathing.
I go,
take a spear of it and kill it.
I can smell you.
Well, it's because I peed myself. I mean,
Does it sound like a goblin?
No. How many goblins do you know?
I mean,
Fair question.
You know what I do for a living, so.
So no. But are you alive?
Last I checked.
That was a long wait. Oh, wait,
hey, guys, I think I found somebody dumber than me.
So,
let's tell him yes.
There's some shuffling, and then a small goblin head pops out, to which Karen says, "Kill it! Kill it now! The Lycan cannot be trusted."
I just raised my hand.
Lies and are horrible.
Yeah, I just raised my hand. Say, what have you witnessed in here?
Bones?
There's many of them about. It's a crypt, after all.
Yes, that is true. It's crypt. They do find bones in crypts, or in cons, as we like to call it, because we're goblin.
But what would lead you to seek shelter amongst them?
There's a lot of you.
Yes, so I suggest you cooperate. Focus.
So, have you seen Cornelius?
Yes.
And Frederick?
Yes. No. Yeah, possibly.
And Hans?
Yeah, I think I saw all three of them.
He's overly tall for a goblin.
We have seen them, yes.
His ridiculous amount of all of his teeth.
There were three goblins. There were three goblins. What the hell happened to my camera?
There should have been like 20.
Well, if you count the parts, yes.
So he did get them. He did get them. That's always. Who? So, well, I've got to go. Who? If you got in, then there's a way out.
Wait. You're not going anywhere.
Well, I'm going to go back in there.
What did this to your friends?
He walks, but isn't walking. He who comes in the dark. He is neither shadow nor ethereal.
Well,
he did walk through a wall, so maybe he is kind of ethereal. But then when he clobbered Francis, that was pretty much it for me.
Wing, I think your Morningstar leopard has some possibilities to it.
What, there's a leopard here too? Everyone knows Morningstar leopards don't live anywhere near here.
They're plains creatures.
Plains creatures. The plains creatures that spring from the jungle trees. They call jungle trees, they smell a lot. Anyway, seeing how you're here and he's not here, I think I'm going to leave now.
Well,
you can tell us which way
we
he
should
went.
just kill him.
Which way did this creature you witnessed go?
Oh, he went down that way. He points to the corridor to the south of the room. And he came down that way, and I went that way. And then there were the others.
The others?
All moaning and groaning.
What?
Pointing and wailing.
Looking at what?
So is he talking about ghosts?
No, apparitions.
What?
Apparitions.
What? Is that some goblin word?
I think it means
It's a goblin word. Apparition.
It means fancy ghost.
It means goblin ghost. Because they're fancier.
Because they leave poop everywhere.
We don't want goblin. You don't want ghost poop.
So yes, certainly there is a way out. You're certainly more than welcome to go on your own.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're not using the way out, we should kill it now. It cannot be trusted. The knight can only carry evil with them.
What did you and your friends come here for?
What?
What did you and your friends come here for?
Oh, we were under contract.
Contract for what?
To find something.
Contract by whom?
A thing.
What thing?
A broken thing that needs to be fixed.
Like the door?
Oh, no, that's
like
a different
the statue.
Company. Oh, goodness, he does know. She's the bright one, isn't she?
Who's the one who contracted you to seek out this fragment?
Just somebody powerful, and she's powerful, and there's powerful things going on. You hummings in.
The Society of Truth?
Was she human?
Oh, why would she do that? No, I don't. No reason to be insulting. Elf.
Elf.
Wasn't the Society of Truth the group that we talked to in the city? Okay.
Yes, it was it was the group you talked to in the city.
He appeared to not know who they were, right?
No, he does not seem to know who they are.
Okay.
He apparently was contracted differently.
By someone else.
By a female person.
Well, yes.
But not
She's the
human.
leader of the orcs, after all.
Oh. Does this female leader of the orcs have a name?
Yes.
What would that name be?
Oh, you're asking what her name
Yes.
is. I thought you were
Yes.
saying, does she have a name? Some people, you're looking at Karen, don't think we have names. You shouldn't.
Do you have a
Just
name?
the name, please.
Oh, Madadux. And she will reward you greatly for rescuing me. She may be even sitting a search party now.
Yeah.
May or may not.
So maybe we should hold on to you until we see her.
Yeah, you sound kind of valuable.
Yeah.
Oh, alive, yes.
Hmm.
Also more valuable, well fed.
Want to
How do
turn
you
up?
feel about turnips? Yes.
Ooh, turnips. Those are awful. Well, I'm sure they're better mashed or roasted or boiled and
Raw. You want to turn up? It's raw.
You know, take the turnip and stick it in his pants.
As you do.
As you do.
Did
It reminds me of the time we used to have, well,
Did you
big turnips in our belts. We had the big yellow ones, not the purple ones. 'cause of the
okay.
war.
did you and your friends find the statue?
Well, we were looking, and then he came. His eyes like death in the deepest pits of all that is unknown, held by demons. Dragons above couldn't save us as he came barreling through the walls, walking through the portcullis with his great armored form. Relentless.
What did you do
unforgiving.
What did you do just before he arrived?
I think I had a bit of root sandwich, and then I discussed with Francis about the problem of gardening in the winter.
You were just sitting there in the tunnel discussing this and eating a sandwich, and he showed up.
We were on watch.
What were your companions doing?
I think they were searching for the statue.
Where?
Well, Team 1 was in here. Team 2 was in, we think, the family chamber.
Okay, so the 3 dead goblins that are in the in the quarter to the east of the room, was one of them unusually tall for a goblin?
No.
Okay, so we haven't found his companions yet, but we have found Team 2.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I advise that we proceed with caution if there's some sort of ghostly apparition.
Oh, he's the only one that's going to hit you. The other one's just moan and groan until he shows up, I guess.
Oh.
What do the other ones look like?
Yeah, ugly, hideous
Humans.
humans.
So like
but dead. But worse, because they're dead.
Like sentries.
No, they look more like, people humans. I mean, they're not wearing armor. They're like wearing clothes or partial clothes when you can see through them.
So
he's wearing armor, definitely.
Would myths?
That's at least I caught a good glimpse of armor before I ran.
Would myths and legends help me think about any stories about ghosts or apparitions, specters that might guard a place like this?
Well,
what you could do, or what you could do about them, or what?
Well, myths and legend. Yes, you can give me a myth and legend roll.
Okay. Actually, I had 14 out of 13, so I failed.
Push it.
Well, you do recall the reason you guys went here was to locate a mound where apparently a knight was buried alive. Apparently, maybe these cursed his place if he's buried alive. But who knows? But that could be something. People wronged or have unfinished business, often unknown to hunt, or if their graves are disturbed, as you stand in the pile of ripped apart bodies from the burial niches.
Well, what should we do with our little friend?
Feed him, let him go.
Well, we
Is
fed
what
you.
he says. Is what he says.
Perhaps we should have him go down the corridor ahead of us.
Feed him and let him go. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to help.
Siggy seems to always have the best ideas.
Sure thing. The exit through which we came is off to the northeast.
Well, it's going to go back to the lady's room where the lady is.
But the exit is that way.
No, maybe the means through which you came in, sure, but we came through that way. We just circled around.
He goes, that's where the retrieval team is going to be, with the wolf pack. Which I'm guessing it's not there because you guys are down here. They probably left to get reinforcements. Or not.
You should check that northeast corridor then perhaps anybody who remains is down there.
You can't. It doesn't. He goes, the lock's broke. Because he pulls out a set of keys. Key doesn't work. And that one.
I just grab the keys.
Just give me a dex something. Snatching roll.
Shooty goblin in face roll.
Would that be an agility?
Just give me an agility roll at least. So I can just try it.
I made that by 9.
Okay. Well, his demon, he falls back into a pile of bones and you snatch the key. Well,
So should we try the key on the portcullis then?
I think that would be the best idea, certainly.
Should we go to the main portcullis from the first entryway?
Should we tie this little one up and take him with us?
We should kill him and be done with him. That's what Karen says. They cannot be trusted. The Nightkin are nothing but evil.
I mean, it's just a little goblin.
There's a little goblin who pretty much burned down. Well, we did not allow them in, but
It's harmless. Look at him.
The first thing he will do is report back to the one who contracted him to tell them that another parting of adventurers.
I might not do that. I could easily eat a turnip for hours because it's not cooked in butter or anything. It's just I get just the wolf.
I say we tie him up and take him with us, and we decide afterwards what we're going to do.
But if I'm tied up, I can't run
or fight on our behalf.
I could take a subcontract.
Okay.
How much were they paying you for the your investigations of the script?
You personally. What's your cut?
Yeah.
Based on my expertise, I was getting 3 silver an hour shift day. He goes, night. I don't know. What do you guys count time in?
Decades.
Okay, it was in decaplans.
A silver and 3 turnips, and we'll escort you to the exit once we're finished.
I agree. He will stick out his hand like this.
And I will stick out my hand in exactly the same way.
He'll pull it back as soon as you guys touch and goes, agreed on then.
Okay. One turnip down payment.
He puts the second turnip in his pants.
I just want to see him walk around with 2 giant turnips in his pants.
Is he injured at all?
Oh no, he seems to be wound-free.
Well, let us go and see if we can get these keys to work.
So we should go back to the passage on the eastern side because the lock.
Have we fully explored this area?
This one tells us the lock to the northeast is damaged and the key doesn't work. We know that the lock. And
I'll just look around this room when we have time.
Yeah, but this room looks like it. Well, like I said, it was apparently several burial niches in this room, from the floor to ceiling. So a lot of the bodies were buried in here, and most of the bones have been pulled out of them and thrown to the floor, and actually all of them have been ransacked and pulled to the floor. But there's not much you can see that didn't survive. It didn't.
Yeah, but no writings, no carvings, no
writings,
pictograms.
no carvings. There may have been some identification or some papers or something, whatever. It was destroyed by the ransack. You do find fragments of what appears to be some sort of maybe slate plates or something.
Okay.
That you can catch occasional sort of scribble on them, or at least etching, but apparently they've been all smashed by the goblins. So there's nothing you can put together right now at time. And that would take literally hours of sifting through the debris, gathering it up, and then putting together like puzzles to figure out what they said.
Well, I should just be returning back to the eastern passage.
Yes, let's go. Yep, let's do it.
Agreed.
We'll have brains first, me second, Goblin and Corinne in the center.
Hey, is that magical torch while we're walking back with that Baylor's good? Is it hot?
Yes.
Okay, it gives off heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there anything different on the way back? Any specters?
Other groaning noises?
As a matter of fact, there is. So you do see the two statues are still in place. One missing his spear tip, but they still are in place as far as where you left the mummified soldiers. The large oak door that you guys came through to the south of you now appears to have been opened all the way. I don't know if you guys opened it at least partially, in some way to get through. I don't know if you closed it, but that's different. There is still light coming down from the shaft you can see as you pass by it. And as you do, who's in the middle of the party? It's Karen, and then who's after Karen?
And the Goblin are together, and then Baylor and
Dane.
Dane, you are the one who spots the faces at the edge of the light in the large antechamber.
What kind of faces?
They appear to be human at first.
Angry faces.
And numbers of them continue to grow. 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. As they appear in the edge of the darkness to the shaft of the light.
Is anyone else seeing this?
Yes.
Oh, Bella has stopped. He's a little further along.
Is it so? These faces, are they coming from the south or the east?
It's in the south chamber. South chamber. There's a shaft of light from above, and they're coming out of the darkness that surrounds it. And you can see them sort of appearing.
So is it just faces, or bodies too?
At first, just faces.
You, Flemdrizzle, whatever your name is. Are those the apparitions you were?
And then they begin to their faces begin to sort of distort.
Flumdrizzle.
To which he points to Karen and goes, "Must mean you." She's like, "Well, kill him." But he's down there. He goes, "I'm not looking. I'm going to go follow the guy with the wolfkin."
Okay. Are they? Well, you said the faces are changing now?
Yes, they begin to sort of distort, and their mouths stretch out way too long, and there are now about 12 of them, and then they began to scream.
Oh, God.
Okay.
A chorus of hollow wailing that fills that chamber as they move toward you, and as they go under the light, it's a completely, obviously a transparent body is what they seem to be, as they sort of solidify a little bit as they move towards you, ever glaring closely, screaming and gnashing and wailing of their distorted mouths and their
all
teeth.
of you.
No, that's not right.
As they reach out and move towards you, floating at a not particularly fast speed.
As the goblin turns to go, I'd like to step on its foot so it can't turn.
It's going to try and
stomp. Look at them. Are those the ones you saw before the other one came?
Yes! We should go before they come here. Do we need to remain? It seems like a really bad idea. Does it matter? No, it's not them. It's the next door neighbors. We need to go.
I lift my foot up, kick him in the ass.
Hey, Snothawker, when you...
He once again goes, "You, Karen." He points to Karen. "That's you." She's like, "You son of an ass. I'm going to stab him. It is I."
When you touch them, does your fingers stop?
He's moving on the corridor. No one touches them. Why would you touch them, Hammond? I mean, why would you touch them, Mallard? He's not the brightest one, is he? He looks at you, Wolf.
I'm picking up the pace a bit.
Brain. He's not the brightest one, is he? Who touches a ghost?
I'm picking up the pace a bit. Yeah.
At this point, I'm at the burial chamber with the sarcophagi. Nothing to see back there.
So, for those of you in the corner, they do not seem to leave the exit chamber. They just seem to wail and scream in there, pointing sort of in your direction, kind of like their hands outstretched. But, they do not seem to leave that area immediately as you guys depart.
Can we close the door?
Yeah, you can. You can use like one of your simple spells of.
I'm going to use fetch and just close the door.
So they were coming from the darkness, but did they stop the light, or did they go into the light?
They just went through the light towards the door.
All right, so the light didn't stop them. Okay.
No, it just sort of illuminated them a little better, and then you close the door on them.
But they did appear to be translucent, right? I mean, you could see through them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But Snot Gobbler didn't know whether or not.
No, Karen knows nothing, and.
Okay.
You do know she has pulled out a knife along with her lantern.
Right, well, so
you're back in the chamber with the sarcophagi.
Yeah, I will be at the chamber with the sarcophagi. Has anything changed in there?
You bravely ran away.
I kept walking, thank you very much.
Not since your last sacking of this chamber, nothing seems to be changed.
Yeah.
The children corpses look a little less bejeweled, but everything's the same.
This is where the brave Dame Siggy looted the babies.
Look, I'll have you know.
It belongs in a museum. No, it doesn't.
Dane was at the tail end of the party. I was at the front. What business was going on back there was none of mine.
So, does anyone remain in the chamber? I mean, chained in the hallway outside the closed doors of the chamber now.
Fuck no!
Okay. So, gotta ask. So you all scramble back to the original sarcophagi chamber, and you're in there. There's nothing apparently changes. The last person who enters that room, you do hear down the hall the scraping of some sort of heavy and metal.
Oh, shit.
But it's way down the hall, near where those wailing voices were before you close the door.
I'm sure it's not coming this way.
So perhaps we should go down the hallway and check the key in the door.
Yep. Go do that. Yep.
Okay.
Couldn't we throw one of these sarcophagus lids in front of the doorway into this room to block people
the
from
ghost.
On that,
Block the ghost.
Well, you can do that. The goblin says it walks through walls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm just going to go keep down the hallway.
You keep. But good on you.
Thank you, Feces and Chips. I appreciate it.
And looks over at Kara and she goes, "I will stab you."
So I cautiously step through the viscera.
That's team 2 to you.
Oh, they're here. God. Well. It's hard to see where their pockets are. But anyway, the rest of you, you step over and reach the door with the key. I'm assuming that you'll step in.
I will try
Wait a second. Who on your team was? I'm sorry, Sir Schmegma. Who on your team was carrying the loot that you got from the bodies in the sarcophagus room?
We haven't checked this one yet.
He's like, he sort of looks around that room like he's never seen it. But when he was in there, he's just sort of like looking around. He goes, "You mean that room right there?
Yeah.
That was team 2.
Okay, so these guys have that loot?
And it would have went back to team 3, the retrieval team.
The retrieval team. So the retrieval team was the group that left before we arrived.
Yeah, I guess so. Were there wolves? Did you see wolves up there?
There were wolves.
Just the one we brought with us.
They were still up there. The wolves.
Oh, no.
Take all it off. Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll be back.
Yeah.
Probably just went for, coffee or something.
Perhaps fresh turnips.
Okay.
Yeah, who will?
To the portcullis then.
Faster?
Haste.
Distant scraping in a moan, and you reach the portcullis through the dead bodies. And you're going to try the key. Why don't you give me a sleight of hand as you try and jiggle the key properly in the lock? It is not as simple as it seems, looking at the strange shape.
Nor is my skill in that regard. But I got a 2.
Oh, look at you.
Excellent.
With a twist and a rattle and a pull back and push, the key opens the portcullis, which swings anything but soundlessly open. Repeating this chamber.
Okay. In we go. Let's lock. Well, I guess it doesn't do us any good to lock it behind us with ghosts, but.
Watches stay posted on the doors.
Of course.
Entry points. And
check the lady's body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
in the table.
This small room, it's an oak table in the middle, and one burning torch on the north wall. A mummified body of a woman wearing gilt chainmail sits at the far. It sits at this end of the table, and behind her is an iron-fitted oak door that bears that same ancient glittering symbol that marks it as a part of the Dragon Knight Empire.
That's some nice looking chainmail.
So you go over and look at her, I guess?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that on the table.
Okay. I mean, besides the, wonderful looking gilded chainmail, which does not seem to have a bit of corruption on the mummified body, her hand is clenched around what appears to be a magnificently crafted light warhammer set with jewels.
Ooh.
And the chainmail is silver, it's basically gilded and very beautiful in color and everything. And she is just mummified sitting at the table.
So that chainmail looks really super expensive. I'm saying with that warhammer, but
which Berlor said that is a fine master craftsmanship, and probably empowered with magic. As he looks over it.
So do we take that?
Are there any symbols, writing, pictographs, anything
on
or around her, on the walls, the table?
Yes.
Oh.
No, not. Sorry, that's right. No, not in this room. There is not. Just that. I mean, there's the fine, filigree on the particular, sort of detailed parts of the armor and the fine scroll work on the actual light hammer. But there is no actual writing that you can see or inscriptions. No.
Based on the sound we're hearing, the description, can I roll Myth and Legends as to what kind of spirit or guardian or whatever might be chasing us?
Sure.
8 out of under 10. So it's 8 out of 10, rather. So it's a success. Does it give me anything useful?
It'd probably be, you'd think it's some sort of possible guardian white or something. Or some sort of probably some sort of guardian warrior spirit or something that's been either cursed to protect or protect something or whatever. You're not really sure.
It could be the same alchemy that we saw in the alcove, where some being that was mummified has, through alchemy, been set to guard this place. Because it was carrying metal with it, right? We heard it scraping metal on the ground.
That's what you heard. That's what it sounds like when you heard it.
But would that allow it to walk through walls?
It's beyond my ken, I'm afraid.
I don't know.
Perhaps we should make haste through the doors to the north.
Yeah. Let's. I'll check the doors.
You check the door to the north, the barred iron door.
Yeah.
You check it, and then there's sort of like a shimmering around the mummified woman.
Oh shit.
And rising from it, sort of like almost rising out of it, is a woman of great beauty. A pale and shimmering phantom form of a tall warrior woman who appears to be wearing a full-length chainmail, very similar to what the mummy is wearing. With a gilded headband, her face is sad and dignified. And she says, she says.
Do I recognize this language?
Why don't you give me a languages roll?
Okay. Well, I do have languages, so knowing that she's from the Dragon Empire age, might that help?
Ooh, I missed that horribly.
It will help, yes. I'll give you a boon on that.
Even if we don't have it trained, should we roll?
You can try, yes.
Well, my first one was a 4, so that's good. Yeah, so a 4 out of 12, so I succeed.
Okay.
I do not. This one's speaking gibberish.
Nada.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she'll miss as well. So everyone just is kind of like looking around each other like, what the heck is she saying?
Bane will hold up a finger and listen to her repeat her words.
Well, she will ask you, well, actually, based on the inference, demand that you leave this burial mound in peace. For this is the guardian of the dragon and dutiful servant of the empire. And to prevent any corruption from ever coming and doing any harm to the name and overall legacy of Eladane in our long struggle between corruption and the cleansing fire.
Do you relay this to us? Or?
So,
or do you just say,
So can I? So I'll translate it. I'll translate it back. And can I speak to them? Can I speak to her?
Mm-hmm. What is? I
didn't know if I could speak it or just understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
It's like we have come here with no disrespect to the great names and great houses of Eladane. We've come just to restore what was broken and lost. And I'll hold up the broken piece of the statue. Our broken piece.
Leave this mound in peace. Tarry here no more.
We wish, but we need what was sundered to be made whole.
The cleansing fire will return. We will ever fight against the struggle, against corruption. But leave here. Do not touch. Do not wake. Go.
I'm relating this back. Anything else you would like me to say?
So this is a ghost, but the body with the chainmail and the hammer are still in the chair, right?
Yeah, still in the chair. Yes.
That hammer looks dangerous.
Yeah. So I will. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna reach out. I'm gonna grab the hammer.
You grab the hammer?
Yeah.
Okay. This resplendent, blue shimmering woman's face looks sad and then contorts into a terrifying visage death mask as her eyes sink into her skull and her skin shrivels in its form. And the ghost is revealed. Her anger is apparent. Her ghostly hands seem to distend, no longer graceful fingers, but now almost menacing claws, as she rises above the party with great vengeant anger. And she just shouts in the old tongue, "Dragon and Empire! Come the cleansing flame!"
Hi, this is Matt, the co-host of the Advanced Age Role-Playing Gamers podcast, and you've been listening to our latest actual play, Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, using the Dragonbane TTRPG from Free League Publishing, based on the classic Swedish role-playing game Drakar Demoner. If you like what you hear, please follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and anywhere else you find podcasts. We also really appreciate feedback and chatting with folks, so feel free to tweet us, comment on our YouTube, or leave us a review so we can reach even more people. You can also visit our website at www.theaarpgs.com, where you can read more about the cast, listen to old episodes, and even shop our store for cool Geek Chic merchandise. This story features Malcolm and Nathan as co-GMs. Malcolm will also be playing the role of Karin, a halfling bard. Nathan will be playing the role of Brains, a wolfkin thief. Our players for this story are Tyr as Dane Ringson, a human scholar. Sean as Baelor Banefire, a dwarven smith. Chris as Sigyn, an elven huntress. Anthony as Corrigan Stonehammer, a halfling fighter. And Tim as Quiverring, the Mallard Mage. Character artwork created by Nemesis to Anthony Cupo and friend of the show, Jody P. Schaefer, whose work you may recognize from Metacopolis, Marikari, Megas XLR, and MTV's Downtown. Contact him when the time is right. You'll know how and when. Music licensed through Dark Fantasy Studios and SoundCube. Sound effects by Nathan, using Krotos Weaponizer, Studio, and Dehumanizer, using libraries from Boom Library, SoundCube, Krotos, and his own recordings. So thank you again for taking time to sit down with us at our gaming table. And until next time, remember, you're never too old to roll.
That's what you understand, Dane. The rest of you just hear lots of scary gibberish from above.
All right. Thanks so much.
And the lady, the wielder of the fiend crusher. And that's where we'll end.
All right. Thanks, Malcolm. That was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Malcolm.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody at home.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think we're gonna
stay tuned for our death next week.
Yeah, we're gonna roll some dice real quick, and it'll be after the credits. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can get some more points out of Malcolm.
Are we gonna return? Are we gonna record the dice rolling session for?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just keep the record.
But yeah,
All
good
right.
night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
All right.
And see.
Yay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let's just
roll some dice.
Yeah, just roll some dice.
All right.
Let me get to. Hold on. Give me a second to find that page just so I can make sure I have this right.
I think I maybe only qualify for 3 tonight.
No, we did avoid a combat with the goblin.
Yeah.
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 Where's that stupid page?
What did I call him? Phlegm Drizzle?
Yeah.
Phlegm Drizzle. You guys called him every day. No one ever asked his name, which I love.
Oh, I know you're prepared with it. That's the best part.
No one asked his name, but that was like perfect. I was like, great. Because that made the best of it. Because like he has a name, but no one ever asked. We don't care.
You, Phlegm Drizzle.
Where the hell is that page?
Let me just. And literally, I'm going to the actual rule book because it's easier for me to find advancements that way.
I think I went too far. Yeah,
I know it's on the right page.
I was afraid that I had only recorded like 8 kilobytes or something, but then I hit F5 and suddenly a gig appeared. So
I'm still recording. Should I stop?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
God damn it! I used to know where it was, and now I can't remember.
Experience.
I can find it. Round initiative. Weights. That's combat. That's. How come now that I have the physical book, I can't find it?
Thief.
Oh, and guys, when the fight starts next session, it might be good to just ask me, like, is there? I want to just remind me that I want to tell you about improvised weapons that are in the area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there are 3, I think, in the heaven there. It's there should be a torch, puddle, and maybe some bats, but probably not bats in that section. But just
a puddle is an improvised weapon.
Yeah. So we'll skip that. There won't be any bats. There'll just be the puddle that's available and the torch. But the puddle you probably can't use it in this fight. Basically, you could roll a trip roll on an enemy, and if you succeed, the enemy must spend 1 action and make an acrobatics roll to get back up. We probably won't be able to use it because it's a ghost. So, but the torch you could still use a torch as a weapon that's sitting around there as well. Usually improvised weapons can be something in your environment you can use a one-time one-time use that can either give you sort of either put your opponent at a disadvantage, or to knock them down, or to light a fire, or to cause a distraction. So they're just, I usually, I would just normally just say these things are in the area, but we're about to start this fight, so I haven't really gone into what was here. God damn it. Experience. Okay. So here we go. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
That
Ready.
took forever. I'm so sorry. We'll just start the recording from here, I guess. So we're going to do with the advancements, and they go as follows, so that we all are on board and ready for this. I'm just going to ask you a series of questions that will basically deal with help with your character's advancement and in this game. Okay.
Okay.
29. And that's page 29 for those at home. So, just so you know.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
If you're playing the AARPG home game,
Well, hopefully not. Yeah, be like, so basically, the questions I'm going to ask are very simple.
okay.
1, did you participate in the game?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's 1. Did you explore a new location?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you defeat one or more dangerous adversaries?
No.
Did you avoid an outcome or obstacle without using force? So that would include
yes.
I guess.
Yes.
And did you give in to your weakness?
Tonight I didn't.
No opportunity to.
No opportunity to, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of you are sleeping in this place. So, I was like, yeah.
So 3, and then I also had a demon.
If you got a demon, yes. If you got a
And I had a
demon,
dragon.
or and that for that, whatever you got a demon or dragon on, that skill you mark.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
That skill
All
you
right.
mark. You should have marked it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
And now you just basically with whatever number of yeses you have,
Yeah.
you can mark various skills.
All right. I'm going to mark them right now.
All right, so I went with acrobatics, sleight of hand, and spot hidden. So acrobatics and sleight of hand both have 14. Spot hidden I have at 3.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna roll through them real quick.
And you want to roll a d20 for each of them, and if your roll result exceeds your current skill level, then it increases by 1.
Okay, so acrobatics first. I need a 15 or higher. I rolled a 1. Sleight of hand, I need a 15 or higher. I rolled a 7. And spot hidden, I need a 4 or higher, and rolled a 5.
And that goes up to 5.
Yeah.
All right. I checked languages, myths and legends, and spot and hidden.
Okay.
All ones I used tonight. So languages, I have a 12, and I rolled a 5. Myths and legends, I have a 13, and I rolled a 2. And spot hidden, I have a 13, and I rolled a 15. Okay, so that goes up.
And also, no, you don't actually even. Well, yeah. I mean, the sad part is, in other situations, all those others would have been really good rolls.
I know. Look, you can't win win everyone.
So I have 3 choices plus healing where I rolled a demon. Mm-hmm. So for beast lore, I have it at 13. I rolled a 20.
Okay.
So that's going up. Healing, I have it at 14. I rolled a 1. So that one's not going up. Sneaking, I have it at 13. I rolled an 8, so that's not going up. Spot hidden, I have it at 12. I rolled an 18, so that's going up.
Okay.
So for me, I had the 3 plus the dragon I rolled on healing. So first I'm going with acrobatics, which I have a 7.
Beast lore.
And I rolled a 20.
Hooray! This time.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this is a good thing. Next is awareness, which I have an 11. And I rolled a 3. Next is healing. I have a 12. And I rolled an 8. And lastly, sleight of hand, I have a 7. And I rolled a 16.
Yeah.
That's going up.
So my 7's went up.
All right. You know what? I made these changes. Okay, I guess here's the save button. Okay.
So is that it?
That's all of us.
Okay. All right.
I guess I could do Karen, but that's.
I'm going to stop recording.
Okay.
No, I'll stop recording too.
Yeah, all right.
And I as well.